slows there, but there's no stuns. There's no like high burst damage, and you've got the Spirit Siphon to be able to, regen up a little bit of that damage that's coming through to you. So on the back of that, I feel like Hokori are going to not lose out as much from a lot of these early support rotations, particularly from Theolacor, and that'll allow them to secure runes without losing too much in exchange. But again, this could just very quickly get out of control, even just with like one, maybe two bad deaths coming through. Like you will be able to just rip through some of these towers.
I do think the Death Prophet's going to have a better lane than what we saw last game on Vitaly, because I think the Luna's going to be a lot more mixed damage, and I don't particularly think the AA is someone who's going to get as much value out of the Luna Blessing. Do you feel similar?
AA actually, like, your attack range is one of the longest in the game, though, right? So Luna Blessing is actually really nice for just giving you a little bit of that extra chip. +6 damage is as good as 3 Fairy Fires for an AA, which is kind of significant. Especially early on. I think you want to be focusing in onto the Tusk before he has the abilities to be able to kill you. Just because
that's what I'm concerned
to go
about.
into the regen.
That's what I'm worried about. Like if you are right clicking and you have like level 2 on Hokori with Snowball and Tag Team or Shards and Tag Team, as soon as AA shows to try and right click, you are going to be out of position, and then they'll just go straight away.
Fight.
Now, you know me. There you go. You know me. I'm colorblind.
Yes.
On the right-hand side of the Radiant of the river, is this a blue observer ward that they've placed down on Hokori to the north of that? Is that blue? Or am I down?
The what, near the bottom river? The bottom power
near
rune?
the Radiant bottom power rune. Is that blue?
there's a fish, and yes, that is blue as well, kind of.
Okay, so it's not quite the snaking one where it says Sentry Ward. He renamed it to Sentry Ward just to try and confuse the enemy team, but it's still a little bit annoying.
Makes it difficult for you. That's what it does. But for us non-colorblind folk, we're okay. Folk.
What a boring life, not being colorblind, to be honest.
Yeah, you've lived life in a disadvantage, and here you are, thriving.
Thriving.
Alright, this is big. Unfortunately for down bottom, the Undying wasn't able to pull the creep wave to be able to meet with Tavo. Arctic's still going to try and get the hard camp, but will not be as fortunate. So we're just going to see them have to resort to dragging all the way back, as Lumiere is going to deny a full wave, and King ID is going to make sure at least he can get some experience.
So he's just trying to do a little bit to disrupt the PA, but it's not going to do too much, to be honest. He knows that it's just a level 1 tiny. He's very vulnerable to being right-clicked occasionally in between some of these last hits coming through. Tiny gets given a free last hit, though. Not really something that you're wanting to be doing. Gardic, he just wants all sorts of situations where these two strength heroes are clumped up. Doesn't use the decay onto them, though. A little bit surprised. Suppose he's wanting to manipulate this lane so that it's not just falling underneath the tower. Trying to connect these two creep waves together. Looks like he'll be successful. So, again, anytime you're just farming in the middle of nowhere, out of the safety of being able to go into the trees or towards a tower, that's going to give Hokori a bit of an advantage here, because you don't have the levels yet on the Tiny. Undying, just incredibly strong level 1. Looks like Gardic is just going to
top lane,
tank up a lot of
HFN.
these.
He's going to go down. First blood for Vitaly, and there we go.
Immediately at level 2, they went for it.
What's going on mid? What's going on? What are we watching, Danog? All 3 lanes are doing fully
Not being played in the lane.
What am I watching?
I've given up trying to understand the mentality behind mid laners, to be honest. So Analog just feels like maybe early on, before he gets up to like level 4, you're not quite as able to harass out a Void Spirit quite as easily.
Oh my. Not a matchup I would expect any pull shenanigans on mid. They're both farming relatively well. We did see early on a rotation. Let's hold that thought top lane. Duster. Uh-oh. A beautiful placement in the shards. Thanks to Theolacor's Tusk is going to secure them. The second kill, and it already looks like this top lane is going much better for Hokori.
It is indeed, and he's even going to be able to pick up one of these bounty runes on Theolacor. I'm a little surprised that he doesn't go connecting to the top river rune, just because you don't really have the mana to make too much happen in the lane. I guess just prior to hitting up onto that level 4 on the DP, he's a little bit wary just with a 1 point in the Siphon, but Theolacor will eventually make that move down. And look at this, Analog is even pushing Adriano away. So 2 runes secured if Analog's able to pick this one up, but yeah, nicely done by King RD, blocking that one away. It's coming in just in time for Analog here. Just trying to be a bit of a nuisance. He'll be fine.
Duel, will he?
He'll be fine.
Okay. Oh, they're even going to glyph as well to make sure he
standing here.
I really like that from King RD, because we saw it the first 2-minute power rune that Theolacor rotated to try and secure that and take it away from ADR. So now the fact that King RD is like, all right, I'm going to get one up on you now. Instead of, secure the rune and also put a lot of pressure on so that the Storm Spirit can't freshen up in the resources as top lane. Making another attempt onto Duster. As Vitaly up to a killing spree already on the Death Prophet. And HFN, he's going to be chased down as well. Shards are up in 5 seconds. He could look for a TP up, but hasn't got the confirmation of Theolacor's skill build at the moment. Now he's going to see the snowball. What's the call, Luna? Do you go for the straight up TP? It's a costly one. If you get killed off, you can't rejoin the lane. So he recognizes there is no escape. Try and pump in as much damage as I possibly can. As bottom lane, the action continues to break out, but just some spells being traded between the two teams.
Actually did go the 1 point into the Call of the Wild Boar just for that period where King RD was out of the lane. Again, I mentioned how important it was just to even have that movement speed slow to discourage the consistent aggression that was going to be coming in onto the Beastmaster. So the fact that Tavo, he's behind on net worth, that's understandable, but not dying in this lane is honestly just as good. Getting your levels up, making sure that you can make good first use out of the Primal Roar. You've got a lot of damage that you're able to combo together with the Tiny and the AA if you're just able to get that level 6 on Beastmaster.
It's a big rotation though. They should be able to get King RD. Nice toss onto the tower though. Gardic's in trouble as well. They'll secure with a kill, and Artavo's going to get some bonus gold thanks to the Tombstone.
Tried to get the deny there on Lumiere, but fortunately it was just a little bit too short, and well, ends up taking a good amount of damage. He's already up to the 4 wild access stacks.
Top lane, they're rotating Storm Spirit with the regen. See if they can get Duster off to the right.
I think he might have just seen him.
Yeah, he does now. That's huge. Really being able to slow down Analog, especially with the regen. Because if they get the kill, that gives Vites... yeah, he's going to have level 6 actually with this next creep wave. Bottom lane though. Tavo's still in some trouble. As Hokori holding 3 members down bottom, but with ADR joining the fray, Theolacor is going to end up going down. They're even considering about going for Gardic as well, as King RD is going to sweep over to the left side. Looks like they won't even require the damage out of the Tiny. Gardic's just going to... Why not run up, make him work for it? He'll get it in the end.
I feel like it would be worth it if you got a kill onto HFN in the meantime, but really good recognition from him. Again, just playing around this mid lane, TPing away from where a lot of the aggression was, and that's on the back of this Observer Ward that's come down here. Just spotted out the fact that Analog's been hanging around this lane for quite some time.
They're going to get the roll already level 6 on Tavo! Oh no, and now Analog as well is going to be a bit cautious. They're able to pop the regen so he doesn't have this left standing with him to escape. Meanwhile, top side, though, Vitaly gets a big kill and the extra damage onto the tower.
That regen just coming in at the inopportune time, right? It hadn't completely expired, the rune just sitting in the bottle. Still was about 30 or so seconds away. At least you get something out of it with being able to take this tower at top. And, well, it means that Vitaly is going to have a much better start to this game, at least. Get into that early ring of health available for himself.
At the bottom rune, look at the fight that we got breaking out. Both sides recognizing the importance of the power runes, and it looks like Radiant's going to come out on top. A 1-for-1, getting rid of the Tiny, but the Shards perfect positioning once again. So they'll turn their attention over to Duster, but meanwhile, this is giving ADR a free fight to be able to deal with another support. As Analog should be able to just escape, though ADR might be in some trouble. Vitaly sweeping through to mid lane. And the Resonant
Haste
Pulse
through bot.
should be enough to be able to protect him. Vitalik, does he have the damage? No. Guesses the wrong way. The Dissimulate out to the southern side. The ultimate's back up as well. But Analog, he's able to get the refill into the bottle. So the zip back on forward on King RD. It looks like he should go down. Vitalik with one more right click. But he's going to stay alive. Not enough to get the tiny.
Okay, stays alive, and you also didn't get the urn charges replenished as well on Vitali, so a little bit of that kill threat lessened, which is kind of significant, and PA's already been forced back into the jungle. Really surprising that Beastmaster was able to get
ADR's
this
going to be in
much.
King RD as well. Look at the stun lock. They get the Storm Spirit. Beautiful use of the chain control. ADR should
a lot
be
here.
okay. Actually, Dissimulate's on cooldown as well. Look at the damage that Vitali's stacking up. This Spirit Siphon already maxed out is chunking the members down on Wolf Team. Vitali's going to get a triple kill. Only 9 minutes into the game, Vitali is 7-0-1. What a complete night and day difference here from the offlane Death Prophet.
Someone's going to need to come bottom to be able to deal with this. Tavo with that, it might be a little bit slow with this retreat though. Will be indeed. Analog just trying to clear out these creeps as quickly as he can, but doesn't quite have the damage to be able to do so just yet. There's a kind of big commitment coming through from Analog here. You've got, well, I've still got a haste rune showing on my mini-map, but as we reach the 10-minute mark, we'll see that it's actually an invis at bot. RD, ooh, will he even be able to claim it? Yes, looks like he will. Even Theolicor getting into the Falcon Blade action.
Interesting.
Oh, can't let Adriano pick this one up.
Should go down. King RD with this invis wrapping all the way around. He's getting close to the tier 1 tower that they're going to toss. They're going to toss ADR in instead. And he's going to be in with the damage as well. So both supports going to be the sacrifice to start. But Analog's going to be cautious how long he sticks around. He doesn't have the greatest mana pool. But again, the shards locks in dots up. 6 deaths on the Ancient Apparition. They're really starting to rack up, and this has really all been off the back of how Theolicor, I should say, is landing the shards.
He's feeling like a core this game, and, well, I'm always looking for those silver linings. Tavo making sure to put the pressure on the bottom-hand side, playing around that siege creep wave, and even just with the 1 point in the inner beast, able to be really effective at starting to regain some of this map control. We know how important it is for Luna to be able to sit inside the jungle, to be able to play a little bit more around that ancient camp area. If you're taking away the enemy's Radiant bottom tier 1, excuse me, that's just going to become so much easier. Can they find this pick off onto Tavo? He's going to be tempted to go for a little bit of a push here. Someone's going to reveal the fact that they're down here, though. The fact that no one's defending against a siege creep wave just sets off alarm bells, and wisely enough, they're going to back off.
I was going to see ADR. They've got a lot of burst potential on Dire with this Ice Blast now picked up as well from Duster, so they do have to be very, very cautious of how they take these fights on Hokori.
Good map recognition coming through, though, from Wolf Team. Just not giving up these kills for free. Looking to try and maybe play around this
bottom. Gonna have a fight by this rune. Yeah, there's the Ice Blast coming out. Gardick's just gone. At least it gets the Arcane Silver Linings, and meanwhile Theolicor as well is getting chased down by Tavo's summons, and that's a second member that's going to be killed off.
All right. It's not like PA is just sitting back and farming unopposed either. I mean, Luna's farming basically just as quickly. And we know that Luna's always going to be able to take advantage of that prior to PA picking up that that Battle Fury. But I mean, speaking of that, pretty good Battle Fury time coming through as well. Should be about the 13.5 minute mark.
I'm really impressed though with Hokori and what they're able to do. Like, you know, the summons
skeletons
mid.
in the mid lane, sorry.
You see, as soon as the river fight breaks out, Analog instantly recognizes he needs to deal with bottom so he can stop them from getting a kill and chaining that into a tower. And Vitaly shoves out mid as well. So they're able to at least keep their towers alive. They get the tier 1 tower mid as well. And they're just slowing down. Like, yeah, Tavo, a Beastmaster, it's all good when you're able to keep up in farm. Hang on, Analog's out of mana. This is not looking too good for the Storm Spirit for the moment. Vortex is
Don't worry, 5 seconds.
really going to make ADR a little bit more angry as well. Wait for the Soul Ring to the zip, but the roll's there. Tavo just steps in. A big kill for them to be able to find, just slowing down the Storm Spirit's game, preventing him from being able to pump in that magic damage early on.
It's important that doesn't happen too many times, though. Yeah, quick timing. It's important that you don't give too many of those kills away on the Storm Spirit, right? Like, again, you are the one that is disrupting the backline, and to get that, you need the Kaya for the damage and everything else that goes along with it, but you need your BKB, because if you get to that point, the only thing that's stopping you is going to be that Roar. And I feel like that's going to enable someone like the Death Prophet, for example, to just come in and clean up. Already having such a great game, so if he can get his own BKB at a similar sort of, probably faster, to be honest, than the Storm Spirit will, then you have to pick someone to focus, and the one that doesn't get focused is just going to provide way too much chaos for Hokori.
We've seen just the read from Wolf Team and the priority they've been putting on these power runes. It's going to be another rune secured, a double damage rune as well, which is going to be important for this fight. I believe...
They smoked under that vision.
Yeah. Look at the positioning. Dust on the high ground along with Tavo. King RD is going to look to intercept, but Analog's onto Duster instead. They'll be able to take the Ancient Apparition out of the equation, but meanwhile, Wolf Team have the opportunity to deal with the Tombstone, and they're going to look to back up. Reevaluating how they want to take the team fight as Vitaly's charging in with the Exorcism, but Gardic's still playing with the ultimate as well. He can start to slow down the retreat on Wolf Team. And Hokori, they're playing with every single member through this skirmish, and they'll come out on top. 3 members taken down as Lumiere gets the double kill as well. And these are really good signs here. Lumiere with a Battle Fury even showing up to be active.
They might be able to see HFN. They should have just got a glimpse of him when he was walking down into this lane because of the Observer Ward placed to the left-hand side of the tower. And, well, they're pinging him a little bit now. I think that might have actually been King RD there, but they could have just missed an opportunity for a really key kill. Because, obviously, giving a double kill over to your PA, very important. But Luna, I mean, she's kind of scary in her own right, you know? If you get into this Manta style, if you get into, let's say, a Butterfly, you're able to tank through a lot of this damage coming through from Hokori.
Do you feel like the Luna relies on being having a one item advantage? Like, do you feel like Luna relies on having a one item advantage? Because that's kind of how I look at the hero.
I feel like it relies on your potential to take towers and have more of the map to be able to farm. So if you're not doing that, if you're not playing together with your Beastmaster when Beastmaster's hit his timings, which he almost has, he's so close to being able to pick up that Helm of the Overlord, I think that's all that you're really waiting for on Wolf Team. So what can Hokori get in response in the meantime, right? Like, PA is already keeping level with the Luna. You've got a DP that farmed as hell. You just want to get him his level 12 and his BKB. Oh, look at his positioning on Vitaly as well.
King RD is going to find him. Can get that toss back. Gardic is nearby. If they can kite the fight away from the Tombstone, but now with the Ice Path onto Vitaly, they've got the potential to be able to blow up the Death Prophet. No, having a care in the world about the sustain. And now they're going to turn to deal with the rest of the members onto Hokori as well, as the roll from Tavo holds back Theolocor. An incredible fight from Wolf Team, and look at them. They're considering Roshan now off the back of this.
Why not? You know, if you're grouping up around Luna, you're just going to have so much extra damage to be able to play around again. This is the power of Vlad's. This is the power of just having all of these auras that you can play around. It's just the one point of the Inner Beast, but it doesn't matter. This Roshan just feels like butter.
This is the timing now for them. You're going to have Helm of the Overlord. You're going to have Aegis to be able to siege down. Aghanim's almost on ADR. It's go time. You need to get multiple tier 2 towers. They might get Analog as well. He's underneath an Observer Ward. It's probably going to be...
Blink?
Oh, they don't.
King RD doesn't have Blink.
Maybe from the tree line. Look at that. That's a perfect scenario. King RD is going to wait for the toss at the last second. Doesn't want the burst damage coming through for the Avalanche combo, but he recognizes he doesn't require that. They need the control, and they get it perfectly out of the Tiny.
These are, again, you cannot give up free kills like this. They were so close to hitting all of their timings together on Hokori, but just with a couple of pickoffs on Vitaly in particular, he was just before his level 12, he was just before his BKB. PA, only about, 300 gold now away from BKB. Storm Spirit is a little bit further away, about 2,000 or so, but Imagine if things turned out a little bit differently. You're not down an Aegis. You've got 3 BKBs to run in together against this lineup that is super reliant on magic damage to be able to deal that initial burst damage.
Smoke off from Wolf Team.
Right now, they're just looking to try and take towers, do what they're good at, ball up, and take some of these early objectives. Will they end up smoking again underneath this observer ward now that they've hit a few of these timings?
They're going to see Vitali.
He swaps it in.
They smoked under the Hawk.
4-man smoke. Yeah.
Under the Hawk, though, so they do see this. But it's a timing.
Where are they going to position themselves? King RD putting himself first, right behind the cover of the trees.
Duster's got to go.
HFN with the Aegis. Oh, the Tumblr's toy up on the high ground.
If you get this Ice Blast onto a Death Prophet, Vitali cannot charge in the middle. Duster has to go.
This is where those TI qualifier stress really starts to come in. Someone's going to need to respond to this. Who's going to put their body first? Might need to be Gardic. Ends up showing.
He's not the one, man.
Going on to.
He's going to die to the creeps.
I think it is.
And King RD is going to jump. Tombstone's out, but look at this with the backline.
Found the backline.
He sees the ancient apparition, but instantly the counter initiation's there. The Aghanim Scepter reveal enough to control the Storm Spirit for the moment, but it still looks like Hokori. They can turn this around off the back of the BKBs. They'll be able to deal with the first 5, but can they set up for round 2? As ADR will chase down Vitali down to the southern side with the magic immunity on cooldown. They can just blow up the Death Prophet with the beams raining down Hellfire. And now, meanwhile, to the northern side, the PA at least is able to clean up King RD, but it will not matter as Wolf Team, an incredible fight off the back of the recent items being picked up.
Luna's still alive. She can just keep pushing on forward, even just in the middle of that team fight. Even if they weren't together, it was nighttime. You have the additional vision advantage on a Luna. You've got a Beastmaster with all of the Hawk vision available. PA took way too much time to kill a Tiny because it's a Tiny. It's what I was mentioning before. You're a position 4 that just gets given 10 free armor at what level? At a 10-minute mark, basically. Cancel the TP on Adriano.
King RD... Okay, just being a nuisance. I thought
the silence again?
Yeah, meanwhile, Analog just gets the zip away. But poor old Theodore is like, no, it's not like this. Come on, brother, you baited me in. Gardic too? God.
Wow, he's committing with this? I don't know if you can do that. It will get them to back off at least, I suppose. What do you need now? You need more damage, basically, on Hokori, because they, even with a pretty ideal setup in the fact that they went onto the Undying to begin that fight, you still weren't able to turn things around. It was a great gameplay again coming through from Adriano, just getting that silence off onto the Storm Spirit, really highlighting the fact that he needs this BKB. It's been, what, 3 unnecessary deaths, I feel, that Analog has suffered, and it's really putting him behind the 8 ball for how safe he feels in a lot of these team fights.
Yeah, I felt like Wolf Team had an incredible read on how Hokori needed to take that team fight. Like we were saying, Duster has to go. He has to be the person they kill off, and that's the Storm Spirit's job. And they read this perfectly. Like Beastmaster was waiting to jump. They had the Roar to hold the Storm Spirit in place. They had the silence as well from ADR. So now it needs to change. I still feel like this PA can take over this game. Like Lumia, you asked where's the damage going to come from? It's from the PA.
It'll come.
He's still 6-1-0 going Deso next. But the issue for the PA this game is the control that will come out from the Beastmaster. Because the Beastmaster is going to change his target prioritization to roar the PA and kite BKB, and as soon as that expires, he can die. So Beast and AA, they've got to go for Hokori to succeed in these fights.
Yeah, but then you have to consider if PA's getting roared, you're still going to have the evasion coming through from the blur. What did he go? He didn't go the blur evasion, so at least they don't have to deal with that. Maybe the MKB isn't quite as big of a deal for them to go for super early on. But if you're roaring him, you're giving Storm Spirit, if he's got BKB, and you're giving the Death Prophet a much freer game. Is this finally a smoke, not underneath a ward or a Hawk? It looks like it is.
Charge up the high gun. I think just saw the dinosaur walking back. Smoke on smoke, but King RD's in. The jump of the combo with the Ice Blast. It doesn't connect though. A great start for Hokori. They're able to sidestep out of the Ice Blast combo, but able to silence again. They get the stun lock, taking down Analog, and they're gonna look to chill charge on forward as Vitali with the BKB. a little bit too trigger happy. So what looked good for Hokori being able to kite the Ice Blast just turns out to be a disaster, as once again, the Storm Spirit caught out without the BKB.
Bro, it's the definition of insanity coming through here. They're just doing the exact same thing over and over again. PA just doesn't have enough for that Desolator. No, actually does have the Desolator, but not enough for the Basher just yet. So not able to get that key extra little bit of lockdown that they needed. Again, BKB, Exorcism we used. So they're feeling like, all right, let's just push in. We're feeling super strong. We didn't pop any significant cooldowns outside of the Primal Roar. So they're going to take that away. They're going to reduce the amount of space that... Honestly, I feel like, yes, PA is scary, but all you're caring about right now is making sure Storm Spirit continues to not have a game. Might find out Lumiere up on this top side, though. Or Theola Core would be kind of significant, too. Just taking away that... Oh, clever play.
That should still...
If he went down a little bit left, he might have lived.
Well, it does give Lumiere an opportunity to be able to cut another wave top. They'll also be able to cut bottom and mid and get a power rune. So really not the worst thing for Radiant at all. Just stalling this out, getting the BKB.
This is what they were doing well in game number 2 when they were really behind, right? At least you haven't lost any lanes of racks at this stage. You don't quite have as snowbally a draft as you did previously. And you've got no ages to contend into. You've got level 15 now on the Storm Spirit. You've got 100 gold away from being able to pick up that BKB. So right now, yes, you need to make sure that you're going in onto, you know, your Lunas, or you're going in onto the Ancient Apparition. I honestly feel like the main target now is Beastmaster. You got to make sure Beastmaster dies, because he is the only one that's going to be able to kill you super early on.
And he's also going to buff up a ridiculous amount of damage from the Luna with that Inner Beast. It's only level 3 for the moment. It will be, if you take away the drums as well, it's going to be incredibly important to help out the damage that HFN is dishing out. Who's closing in on the Skadi? One component completed. Mid lane, ADR.
They went, just another use of that Remnant, the Resonant Pulse, right? Ended up getting the silence onto Theola Core, so with that Blink Dagger reveal from the Tusk, they weren't able to get that Walrus Punch up into the air. He lives.
They're under a hawk, man. There's a lot of information as King RD gets a jump. The snowball, though. A beautiful timing. Oh, man, Theola Core, that was perfect. But now the roar and the turnaround. Is the damage going to be able to... The soul rip might be enough, but they still bring him down. Storm Spirit again. Even this time through the BKB will go down.
Gotta kill the Beastmaster, man. That's what I'm saying. He's the only reason that he dies there. As long as you're just not being completely locked in place. And they use the Exorcism. So they can even feel confident to go up onto this high ground. At least pop the glyph, perhaps.
They've got the Hawk. They're going to see the Death Prophet again this time. The same Hawk. The same place they jumped last time. Vitalik can pop the BKB. Theola Core's going to move in forward as well.
All right.
They'll finally get ADR. But still, it looks like HFN with the Eclipse are able to blow him up with ease.
I mean, he didn't hood, man. That's the only reason that Death Prophet died in that fight. It's just a little bit of these tiny plays, amplifying it to so much more. And again, these pickoffs, because of the vision that they've got, because of the fact that they're grouping up and playing around the strength of this Luna, being able to full-on man fight, means that, I mean, you don't want to go into this, man. It's a 4v3 right now.
They've got a nice wall on the high going to play with.
Blow up. Lucky.
Lumiere's going to look to blow up the Ancient Apparition. He might be able to do so, but a Force Staff to reposition in the north. And Alok's going to be able to zip on forward as well. They haven't killed Roche. They might be able to claim this HFN, though. They need to cut the BKB on the Luna. A Delta split to the right and south. Guarding, protected with a Glimmer Cape as well, but Lumiere's jumped back in. They've done a good job to kite this for the moment, but Roche is so incredibly low that Wolf team, they need to stick around, and they're going to do just that. But Lumiere, targeting down the Luna, the Roar's going to hold them back. Will not matter with the damage coming out from Enor. This time, the Storm Spirit will be able to thrive in the Roche fit. They secure a double kill. They're going to move to ADR next as well. They don't want to try and secure Roche, though. HFN, they need this.
No Roar.
The Luna just brought back. You need this Aegis on the Luna, but look at Vitality recognizing, just shoving him away from the pit, making sure they don't have the opportunity to get the Aegis of the Immortal. As Lumiere again jumps in, wicked sick on the Phantom Assassin, and they completely zone them away. Vitality doing God's work, just pushing Wolf Team further and further away from the pit, so the PA can get the Aegis and the Aghanim Shard as well. And look at this. They're going to smoke up. They see HFN.
Oh, no.
He's under a ward. This is a big kill. Buyback. Use prior. BKB on cooldown for 18 seconds. This is going to be a dieback on HFN. 100 seconds down in their grave. And Hokori, they've got such a huge position now to be able to get some objectives and hold firm control of this game 3.
No one's really capable of pushing these lanes out. Maybe you could go for some kind of cheeky play here on Void Spirit, but he doesn't have buyback himself, so not like he could very easily cut lanes. They've got the glyph available, but it's not going to be refreshed after this tower ends up going down, so you would imagine they want to hold it for that high ground push that's eventually coming. Of course, with a Tiny, any time that you're looking to commit a little bit too heavily into the base, there's the threat of being tossed back underneath tier 4 towers, of someone getting blown up. Right now, they're just wanting to put the PA on the front lines.
They can with the Ice Blast. They can definitely blow someone up.
Nice
but
save.
Again, Theolacor, 2 fights in a row. The snowball to be able to dodge out the Ice Blast. And that is everything that we're needing now to continue with the siege. So wait for the next creep wave. And with this extra, this tower is going to be under a lot of pressure. But King ID, he wants to make sure they jump beforehand. He's going to be in with the combo, but the damage, it's just not there.
Creep Wave eventually will be joining this push. Again, it's still a guaranteed extra 20 seconds. They know how much they can go in.
What was that range? Not? Abyssal Blade already on Lumiere, and he's going to push them further back.
Probably look to just take this Rax. Can't look to commit too much further than that. Just Glyph being used again, but this means that one more teamfight victory and Hokori have taken this game. You still won't have the... Ooh, guarding. All right. It's a kill. It is a dieback, so it slows things down a little bit, I suppose. We saw what difference the start of that fight made, though. Just being able to find that initial pick-off onto even someone that might seem as insignificant as a support Tiny coming through means that you don't have to be so worried about the death profit of getting burst 100 to 0. Yeah, it was really Lumiere that was the standout in that last team fight, but it was just a lot of the passive damage coming through from someone like a Death Prophet, just being able to stand and man fight.
We have seen just how different, though, the fights have been when Theolacor is able to stop Wolf Team from getting the instant pick off with maybe either a jump in from ADR or a jump in from King RD on the Tiny into the Ice Blast. If they can't do this, if they can't get a kill instantly, Hokori, they will have a much better time in these fights. So Wolf Team, they do have the advantage.
That Blink Snowball was great.
Yes. And Wolf Team at least will have Hawk as an advantage to be able to scout out where the Tusk is and always be able to make
just popped his BKB for no reason. You hate to see it. If he's being quiet about it, or if he's just like, oh, I was being ganked, guys. Well, he's only 350 gold away, and remember, he did buy back as well. So not having this, if he ends up falling down and not being able to rejoin the fight, then, I mean, that could put yourselves in a really rough spot. Lumiere, the one putting himself in the most dangerous territory right now, realizing that he's tanky enough. His team will be able to join him. They've got to make sure that they get some of this vision up to be able to assist him. Double bounties coming through. Will that give Storm Spirit enough for the Kaya and Sanj? That'll be a big deal, just to provide him with a little bit more of that survivability to be able to tank through the roars and a lot of the other damage coming through. I'm going to regen. What a handy pickup.
Would you be considering a gem if you're Hokori to really try and limit the Beastmaster vision?
Here we go. You're talking about the gem again, your favorite item. But yes, yeah, I would. Like, even just when you consider... I mean, they're not aware of how many times that they've smoked underneath Hawks and Observer Wards, right? But it's very clear that something like that gives them a little bit of a vision advantage for once this game would be so significant towards their chances. And
again, look at this.
Look at his positioning.
The Hawk, but the Water High Gun Vitali instantly blinking down. Gardick's gonna play with the Tombstone as well, but the TP in, they're gonna try
found
and
the
deal with the
backline.
HF pressure. Meanwhile, Lumineer as well. Look at the damage for the Phantom Assassin. He'll jump on forward. HFN's gone, completely taken out of the equation without a buyback. Hokori, what a beautiful play. Vitali's position, being able to scout out the smoke, and they can end indeed. They still got half duration of the Exo.
They just need Lumiere to be there, who's pushing, hitting a few creeps in the bottom lane. But yeah, they know that there's no Luna buyback, guaranteed. They would have absolutely had that timer on their mind. Did just have the Aegis reclaimed, but I don't think they care. Lumiere goes in. He's got the Abyssal Blade available once again if they want to. It's TI qualifiers, though. They're going to take the safer route. They're going to go for the second lane of Rax. Just try and make the map a little bit more difficult to play around. You would hate to throw this away and give up that top 6 spot.
ADR.
I know.
They will not be going up against Mega Creeps at least. They've still got a T2 tower standing down bottom. But it will be 2 full sets of barracks to be claimed here for Hokori. Oh, Lumineer's got a refresher picked up as well. Okay.
Refresher. So, Ags after this, and then what? Satanic after?
Yeah.
You'd have to imagine.
I'm just trying to think of what a replacement would be for Satanic if he does, like if there's another item he's considering.
Nah.
But no, I think Satanic is what he's going to go for as well. So, Lumineer is...
Although, do you need it? You got the lifesteal built into the Phantom Strike now.
Is the basic Dispel nice against anything? Nothing crazy. Maybe the E-Blade aggressively. The BKB's on cooldown,
The
but...
Hawk? It gives a root now, right? From the Beastmaster Hawk instead of the stun.
It does too. Okay. See,
The
smoke
silence
off
from the Void Spirit Ags. I suppose you
HFN.
can't cast it though.
on the front. Uh-oh, not a good position for the Luna to be in. I think Lumia just scouted him out. The positioning there from Hokori. They're going to see Duster as well. AA's big.
They
It's a
want the
lot of their
backlines.
burst
They still want the
potential.
backlines.
Look at how they're pathing away. Lumia trying to get the stairs
Found
to
the
wrap
real one.
around. Meanwhile, HFN's stuck in the shards, but HFN's actually going to charge forward. Wolf team,
They've got
they
a
feel
gem
strong.
on analog. So they saw the Hawk that time, making sure that they weren't taking a poor team fight. Almost level 20 as well on analog, so that's going to provide him with a little bit more of that
Nice scan.
control. Really nice scan. They're just wanting to fight around their vision. There's no reason not to. Could even look to maybe if they went into the lane, deal with this Observer Ward there. They're pinging it out as well. They feel like that's where they might have a lot of this vision. And Lumiere, he's putting himself first. Let's see if they're close enough to be able to take this one out. They should be pinging this here, but do they have to deal with this push? It's 2 siege creeps. Don't think so. Towers should be able to deal with it if the rest of Wolf team aren't going to deal with it. You
I
do
have a
have the
5 for the
buyback
power
now
room.
available for HFN though.
Just a measly invis, nothing crazy. Any
So
other buybacks
tense.
are coming on? They're pretty close. You just need the gold for AA Tiny, about 100, and ADR needs 300 as well. So we will have buybacks pretty shortly here for Wolf Team. ADR,
He's gonna put
trying to get
themselves
that gold.
first.
He's trying to get the gold. Not like this though.
Oh, the
The
Remnant.
silence is there. Lumineer's going to jump with the Abyssal Blade. The damage, it's not enough for double force stuff. He's going to be out, but on HFN instead. The Luna just gets blown up. They use all the defensive toolkit to keep the ADR alive, and all it means the rest of the cause will come at a cost, as ADR will still not escape as Hokori fine 4. No one goes down on Radiant, and now they can reap the rewards from the pit.
Oh man, they've just been so much more disciplined in the last 15 or so minutes, right? The amount of times early game that Analog was just diving in, getting caught out. 3 separate times he had the exact same sort of play happen. And would you look at that, they even get the free Aghanim Scepter for the PA, so doesn't even need to buy it anymore. He can just go straight in, and I mean, he's just been deleting targets back to back that they'll be able to just do it consistently in a lot of these. I mean, he's almost level 25 too.
Your Battle Fury I'm watching you kill creeps without Battle Fury. Obviously,
No need.
wants the mana regen from the refresher at the moment, but Oh, what's going on? Who have they caught out? King RD, toss back to Tavo, but they don't get the Ice Blast, which being off the mark.
Cheese is in his backpack.
Analog's going to be able to get some distance, still hasn't popped the cheese inside there. Might go for Hokori instead, the easier pick off with ADR's burst. They'll bring him down, but King RD finds another. Analog almost being killed off, man. King RD trying to find a way back in this game.
You know one of my pet peeves, right? These cores,
Oh, I don't.
these
What
cores
is it?
that take the cheese and hold them in the backpack. It's like, what's the point? You nearly died there. You didn't have buyback because you had the Aghanim Scepter coming out to you. That would have been a disaster, you know, having 2 heroes down.
Who do you want it on? Do you want it on the Undying?
No, I just wanted to use it instead of the Soul Ring or something.
Yeah. Soul Ring is
What's
kinda...
the point, right? If he had the
Yeah.
Aegis, I could understand keeping it in the backpack, but not just like this.
2 armor, 6 strength, come on.
Oh, don't use that.
Yeah, no, I don't know. He does have Scepter not completed though from Analog, so that's, oh my god, that's gonna be scary. You group him up. He doesn't have the Battle Fury, I guess, on PA, so not as much cleave, but level 25 is also completed. Oh no, he sees HFM.
yeah.
He might think
Can he
it's an
blow him up?
illusion. Maybe not, especially with the BKB getting fucked.
Does he really want to go back into this one?
I don't think so.
Well, he's kind of positioning as if he was going to. Storm Spirit's the one with the gem, though. And he has swapped out the Soul Ring.
This is scary for Dire because they were looking to try and take a fight by their triangle, but with top lane getting shoved in, someone's going to be forced to go back and defend this. If they didn't, then it would be very obvious that they're outside the base. So this can now give Hokori an opportunity to take the T2 tower and also try and de-ward the triangle.
And he just used the cheese to regen like 300 mana. I'm actually so tilted.
You're like, oh my god, these cores, man. What's going on?
Oh, he wants the Soul Ring. Maybe it's the muscle memory, you know? Like he always thinks that he has the Soul Ring to be able to play around. Look, I'm just trying to find a reason to.
It definitely probably could have been. I didn't see. I'll say it was that.
Dire are scanning.
How many times I've done that? Like, it's just way too many. Good. Yeah, it's
He
changed
gets
my
a regen
BKB
though for his
slot.
troubles.
Yeah, I'll take that. Lovely regen. Any other 25s? No, Lumiere. Only one at the moment. To be expected with how he's performed. 11, 1, and 9 for the carry player on Hokori. And one final siege to close out this series and secure a top 6.
Vitaly as well. He's got the Aeon Disc available for himself. Just needs to assemble it. So as long as he's
they're in.
pretty
Oh,
quick
look
on
at
the
the
fingers.
burst. Oh my! Tiny's gone, but it's going to buy back to help out. The Roar is there. They need a way to try and keep the Storm Spirit alive with the chain control. Analog's falling low, but Lumiere is making the space. A jump in, forcing the dieback out on Tiny. Now Lumiere is going to try and go for the
Storm's gonna come
Beastmaster
back in.
instead. Going to buy back to be able to rejoin, but Wolf Team, well, they need some answers,
Storm's
and they
back
might
too.
not have them. They're almost getting the PA, but a jump out, and maybe considering a jump back in. Well, Vitaly is going to do it first, but the Analog is freshened up in the resources. An ultra kill for Lumiere. It's only worthwhile to give the man a rampage with how incredible he's performed. Well, unfortunately, with the Aegis getting kicked out. Oh, no, he'll go for it. There we
Never
go.
mind.
A rampage for Lumiere. A
Double.
double rampage for the carry player on Hokori. What a performance for him. 17, 1, and 10. Slams the door shut, being able to secure their first series victory and moving forward to make it in the upper bracket semi-finals here for the TI-11 qualifiers.
It was a much harder fought victory than I was thinking that Hokori would have to put forward. But this is what happens, right? Wolf Team, they're no strangers to high pressure situations. Again, the majority